Hello everybody, this is Jessica with Stamp a Blessing. I am back with another episode of Last Chance Refreshing Tips for Card Making. And the tip for today is focus on the sentiment. You're gonna love it. You can do this. Get your stamps out and let's go stamp. Good, today we are going to be using the Lots of Love stamp set, which is going to be retiring at the end of May, and I want to make good use of it. And as I said, today the tip is to focus on the sentiment. And as you can see on this stamp set, that is the big sentiment. And I'm sure you have some stamp sets that have big sentiments or small. I'm going to show you some different samples. Let's start stamping for a little bit. This one is the lovely lipstick ink color from Stampin'Up. It is now available and is one of the new ink colors for 2018. And we will use the big stamp that says sending lots of love. Tap, 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 tap. I always say that. Tap, 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 tap. Don't press, press, press. Tap, tap, tap. And we are going to stamp right in the center. Let's see how that comes out. And I want to show you what I mean with focus on the sentiment. This is a very bold sentiment, but if you just give a card like that, right, it looks like, it's missing something. Do you feel that way too? Well, I want to start by saying, let's stamp some of the leaves that come with the stamp set. And I am using today all the colors from the ink colors, the new ink colors. So I have several stamps in here. And right now I'm using Call Me Clover. So I'm going to use this very big leaf. I really like it. And I'm going to go ahead and put it right here. Sort of eyeball it in there. And look how beautiful that looks. I'm going to pick some ink again. And I'm going to put it, oops, I moved my paper. I will stamp right there. And then I want to take the other stamp set, which is this one. And I want to put a few more leaves. But in this case, I don't want to put them so long. So I will use a scrap piece of paper and I will sort of protect my S right there. And I will put the leaves coming out of the S. Haha. And then I will do the same on this side. I'm going to protect my G a little bit on the side. I'm going to turn my leaves looking this way, because I don't want all my leaves to go so far away from the sentiment. But I am surrounding the sentiment with different images. So this is one of the ways that you can focus on the sentiment. And I will finish this. Now I have Grapefruit Grove. So I will start putting this image in several places around. You'll see how cute it's gonna look. And don't be afraid of stamping. I love stamping. And not every card has to look exactly the same. That is why we make homemade cards. I just love making homemade cards. And you know what? I think that's about what I want to do with the Grapefruit Grove. And I'm going to use the Pineapple Punch. Have it right here. And I'm going to be stamping some of this beautiful, they're like buds, or I don't know how you call those. I love flowers that live. And usually the ones that are alive and well are the ones on my cards. My friend Faith sent me a beautiful card for Mother's Day. And she sent me a flower right in the center. And it said, well, at least these flowers are not going to die. We won't be able to kill them. And she knows me. She knows that I will keep them alive. But anyhow, I wanted to show you how I did this. I have one more step to show you. And we will be using the Grapefruit Grove again. And I want to stamp two of these flowers in a scrap piece of paper, and we will be cutting them. So what I did is I cut my flowers. I also went ahead and stamped the word love in a scrap piece of paper, and I'm going to make that sentiment pop out, okay? So that is the main deal. So I will grab a little bit of glue, or I'm gonna use my snail adhesive, and I will position this flower right here. And remember, I have this love that is going to go on top. And I'm just doing this because I want to call attention to the sentiment. That is all I want to do at this point. I really just want to call attention to the sentiment. And that is the tip that I want to give you today. Sometimes you have beautiful, beautiful stamp sets right there in your stash that you want to use, but you don't know how. And many of them, you can just focus on the sentiment and not focus on the technique behind it and make it simpler for you. Well, this is one of those occasions. And here I'm going to position this right on top. And you see it will pop out really nicely. Last but not least, I will take my my layer of lovely lipstick, and I'm going to be gluing this on the back. So I'll just put a little bit of glue here, a little bit of glue here, and we will be putting this nicely in here. And I want to embellish this very lightly. And after that, I'm going to show you some other ideas that you can use to focus on your sentiments. But I'm using the new Share What You Love Artisan Pearls. I said that right. The pearls. And we are going to take some of this beautiful pineapple punch color, and I want to put some right in the middle of this flower, just to call a bit of attention to it. It's a beautiful embellishment, and it's everything in one stamp set. So I cannot wait to see what you make with your stamp sets. And I'm going to put some of this Grapefruit Grove ones around here. I like to work in numbers of like 3. I say 3, 3, 3. And that's how you have it. I will just connect this to my... I'm going to put the glue on the card base since I put some pearls on it. And I don't want to be bumping on them. But this is my Grapefruit Grove cardstock. And now let me show you some other ideas. As I said, I love this stamp set. This is the Lots of Love stamp set, and I made many good uses of it. You can see some of those other ideas on my blog. But, oh, I have one more in here. These are totally separate. Those are just showing you ideas with this stamp set that it's going to be retiring. But I want to show you an idea with the focus on the sentiment, okay? So here I have another one, and this is a stamp set that is currently available. It is called the Statement of My Heart, and it says to love what we do and share what we love as we help others enjoy creativity and worthwhile accomplishments. In this we make a difference, and I love that. But I want to show you that I use it with a UR Priceless stamp set, which I believe is retiring. It's part of the last chance list. So this is another idea. I just cut out the sentiment and I made it the main deal on that card. And check this ones out. You can do this in other ways. You don't only have to stamp. The ones that we did here, we use stamps to kind of support the sentiment. But look at this one. This one, I decided to use some vellum. And we will be having this vellum in the new catalog very soon. And it's absolutely beautiful. And I just put some vellum in the back and some ribbon. And still, there is my beautiful sentiment. This one, I also use some wonderful stamping. I'll move this aside. I use wonderful stamping on this one. And for this one, I am using the Paisleys and Posies, which will also be retiring. But I love how you can make backgrounds with your stamps. Here, I color them with the stamping blends. And these are other beautiful samples that I made before. You see, just focusing on the sentiment. This one is not a focus on the sentiment. The sentiment is down here, but it's another example. And I have one more sample for you. And here it is. And on this one, I am focusing on the Lovely Words Thinless Dies, which will be retiring sadly. And you see that what really calls the attention here is the sentiment. Friend, I like you, I like you, I like you. Hugs, I'm sending hugs. Lovely, you're lovely. And here I mix it with the Also Eclectic stamp set. This one is not retiring, but I brought it with the Lovely Words, and I think it's absolutely awesome. You're just lovely. I surrounded my sentiment, and all eyes go to the sentiment. So I hope really that this idea bless you, and that you go through your stamp sets and you try to create something, no matter what, if it's stamping around it, or with vellum, or with paper, or with other stamps. There's so many ways. Show them to me. I want to see them, and leave me your comments below. Before you leave, let me leave you with an encouraging word. I was reading the Bible this week, and I noticed Mark chapter 9 talks about when Jesus took Peter and James and John to a high mountain, and he revealed to them like to nobody else. It was amazing. And at that point, Peter said to Jesus, hey, we are good here. Let's just stay here. You know, that was Peter's perspective. But at that point, there was a voice that came. It was the voice of God that came and spoke to them and said, hey, this is my son. I love him. Listen to him. And that is my point today for how to encourage yourself in the Lord. Listen to him. Listen to Christ. Check what is his perspective. Shut up all voices around you and listen to him only. And you know what? When you get his perspective, things change. So I encourage you today to encourage yourself in the Lord, listening to the right person, to Jesus, the only one who loves you perfectly. God bless you. Thank you for being here today. Leave me your comments below. I love answering to you, and it's so encouraging to stay connected. God bless you. Ciao, ciao.